As a primary school teacher, I take it upon myself not to just teach my student from the school curriculum but to also ensure that their characters are well molded. I observe that among my students, one of them called Lei is very brilliant, and have the appearance of a child from a very rich background. His undoing was that as young as he was at 10 years old, he was very ill-mannered, proud and unruly. He fight fellow students and openly boast about his parents' wealth. I thought of a way to address the matter wisely because corporal punishment was forbidden in the school. As such, I resort to telling them many character-molding stories after teaching them my subject. One of the stories I told them have a great impact on them, especially this young boy. I started by asking them a question. Who can tell me why the snail lost its legs and its feathers? The whole class erupted in laughter and in a chaotic manner. They chorused the fact that snail don't have feathers and legs. Knowing that I have successfully gotten their attention, I then proceeded to tell them the story below. In ancient time when animals of all kinds roamed freely, there exist many lush forests in Africa, concealed by mountains and the hills. There was one in particular called Omawama which was hidden from human sight by the waterfalls. Among the animals in Omawama was a very proud and swift snail named Tupelo, who boasted of being the fastest in the forest. I gesticulated as I tell them the story. He even boasted that not even the spirits that dwell in the forbidden forest can run as fast as he could. One day, a grand race was announced by Marita, the old tortoise. All animals were invited to showcase their speed and agility. Tupelo, confident in his abilities, also joined the race. As the race began, Tupelo surged ahead with great speed, with his feathered shell shimmering in the sunlight as he moved gracefully. After running for a while and observing that even animals that were renowned to be among the fastest in the forest are very far behind him, his boastful attitude ballooned and caught up with him. He started mocking the slower creatures, and neglected to watch his path. Unknown to Tupelo, he has missed his way, and with his boastful attitude, he ventured into the coven of some mischievous spirits of the forbidden forest. These spirits have heard many reports about his boastful attitude and had grown tired of his arrogance. They then conspired to teach him a lesson, and with a flick of their magic, they declare that all snails should lose their feathers and legs. Immediately, Tupelo's feathers began to molt, and it started falling away the way dry leaves fall down from pawpaw tree. His legs, once strong, swift and sure, withered and shrank until they were no more visible. With tears in his eyes, embarrassed and humbled, Tupelo pleaded with them, but they refused to listen to him. After a while, he then slowly crawled back to the racetrack and started crawling along only to watch as other animals that were previously far behind galloped past him. As expected, he came last in the race and had to crawl back with shame to Marita, the old tortoise. By this time, all the snails have gathered together, wondering what happened to them. When they discovered what happened, they determined to excommunicate him from Omawama. The wise old tortoise, seeing his plight and that of all snails, comforted him and pacified them. He then turned to Tupelo and imparted to him the wisdom concerning the true meaning of life. In his word, Marita said, "Life is not in swiftness alone, neither is it in boasting, but in perseverance and respect for others." I made the students to repeat that phrase over and over again. He also said that our actions in life often affect others. From that day onward, Tupelo and the snails embraced slow crawl. Tupelo now know that true greatness lie in mutually respecting each other and has nothing to do with boasting about what you have. I then turned to the students and asked them what they have learned from the story. None of them respond out of timidity. I then called Lei the proud boy, and surprisingly, he highlighted the fact that Tupelo learned the value of humility and patience in a very hard way. "That's very good," I said. Everybody clapped for him. The whole class gave Lei a resounding clap. I ended by saying that although the snail lost its feathers and legs, but he gained a heart full of wisdom and humility. This event was then remembered in the folklore of the forest. Old animals always referred to it when they want to teach their children the value of humility and respect in life. The class was very quiet after I observed the message got into them. To my greatest surprise, I observed that from that day, Lei toned down his proud and unruly attitude. I know that over time he will be a better person.